Monster High's Generation 3 has been updating and redesigning all of the characters that we have come to know and love over the years, and one of the more recent redesigns that has become a fan favorite in the community is Miss Venus McFlytrap. I personally think her base doll is stunning. I love her design, her outfit, everything about her I think is perfect for Venus's character. So for this video, designer EC and I are finishing our two-part mini-series of making custom Gyaru themed Monster High dolls. In the previous video we did Laguna, so go check that out if you haven't seen it already because I think she turned out amazing. And if you like this video, don't forget to hit subscribe, it's free and you can unsubscribe anytime. Now I'm really excited to show you guys how we made Venus, so let's get started. Like I said, this is a two-parter mini-series where we make both Venus and Laguna into Gyaru-themed customs. We've already done Laguna, go check that out in our last video, so let's move on to prepping Venus. G3 Venus has these gorgeous rooted locks, and it's so cool that we're finally seeing some textured hair like this on a G3 Monster High doll. I am cutting it off because we are doing a reroot for this Venus. I want to do a full reroot and some curly textured hair to see what it looks like, and it's part of the design. Which, huge shout out to Emma, designer ECE, for coming up with the entire design for this custom today. She came up with the whole concept and look, and I just drew it out for her to get a better visual, and I think it looks really, really good. One thing about G3 Venus that I didn't know before taking out the plugs from the inside of the head is that this hair is sealed in with glue. I'm really hoping that this is not that waxy glue they used to use in the G1 days because that will melt over time and be very bad for the doll's lifespan. For Venus's reroot, I bought some curly 5mm hair from the Doll Planet, nylon shade bubblegum pink. I really love this hair. It's super soft, really high quality nylon, and it's really great having these tight curls so I don't have to go in and curl every strand myself because that would take so long. And just after a couple hours the reroot is done, this hair is a lot easier to work with since it's easier to pull the curls apart from one another. And I also rooted in these braids, that ombre from pink to green. I think they're super beautiful. I believe I also got these from the Doll Planet a couple years back. And then to seal the hair into place, I am using some Fabri-Tac. Now that the reroot's finished, I put her head back onto her body and take off all of her factory makeup with some 100% acetone. After I remove all the factory paint, I like to wash my dolls' faces with soap and water just because I don't want any of that acetone to do anything weird to the vinyl over time. And then I can take Venus outside and give her her first spray of Mr. Super Clear. And off camera, I've already started sketching out the shape of her eyes and eyelashes. I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm painting on a new face mold. Yes, I have painted on Venus's face before, but none of them were a G3 Venus mold, which is slightly different. Her eyes are a lot more defined on this one, I would say, and drawing on her eyelashes made it a little bit trickier, but still manageable. Since this is a Gyaru-themed Venus paired up alongside of our custom Gyaru Laguna that we made, I do want them to feel like they came from the same doll line, so I'm thinking about that when drawing this face. This time I did remember to do my chalk pastel blushing onto the face before I paint the white eyeshadow underneath her eyes. When I do blushing, I like to add a little bit more pigment than I actually want because Mr. Super Clear kind of brings down the intensity of the pigment. As you can see here, this is after I sprayed her again with Mr. Super Clear, and now I'm moving on to my acrylic paints, starting off with the whites of her eyes. And this time around, I moved right on to painting her eyelashes with my black acrylic paint. Sometimes I like paint the face in a different order. I feel like there's no right or wrong way to do it, just whatever you're feeling on that day. Like sometimes I'll do the eyeshadow before the eyelashes and vice versa. G3 Venus's lower lash line is hot pink, which I think is a really cool detail, so I am keeping that for this repaint. And to better help the illusion that she has these drawn-on bigger eyes, I'm adding this light pink in between the actual lash line and the false drawn-on lash line. And I'm also adding that light pink to her inner corners. And here's how she's looking for now. So far, so good. Now I think we can move on to painting her eyeshadow. I'm starting with my white acrylic paint, which I like to paint on the corner of her eye because it's kind of like a highlight blending into her eyeshadow, and then I do the lower white pigment. I'm using a pretty standard pink for the crease of her eyeshadow. And for her lid, I'm using this really pale yellow, which on camera right here it looks like pink to me, but it is yellow, I promise. Then I add some shadow into the whites of her eyes using a blue acrylic paint. And now I'm painting over the eyebrows that I drew on earlier with my watercolor pencils. Like always, here's my shameless plug. If you are looking for any of the materials that I'm using in this video, or any of the materials that designer ECE is using in this video, we each have our own affiliate links in the description with our full material lists. And for her upper eyeshadow, I'm using this really light pink and bringing it all the way up to her eyebrows. After that, I'm using my white watercolor pencil to draw a faint outline of where I want her nose contour to go. This is the same method I used for doing Laguna's nose contour. This is just an easier way for me to try and get it looking completely symmetrical. And then I take my white watercolor paint and just paint that on and water it down as much as possible to try and evenly blend it seamlessly up the bridge. Her lipstick is actually pretty much the same liner and color as Laguna's is. I didn't mean to copy that over to this doll, but I thought those colors suited her makeup look really well, and I thought it would be really pretty to see her in a really pale pink lipstick. And once her lips are dry, I go in with my white acrylic paint and start adding on all her fangs. One of my favorite details about Venus's face is that she has like 6 pointy fangs on her lips. I think it's super cute. As for her eye color, Venus also has brown eyes, just like Laguna, but instead of using a blue to highlight them, I am using a green for Venus. I go back in with my mechanical pencil to outline the shapes of her pupils, and then go in with my black acrylic paint and fill out the circles. I also used a dark brown acrylic paint to add a little bit of shadow into her irises, I don't know if you can see that, and then I'm going in with my green to highlight. These eye shines are completely inspired by McKinney Go follow her, her artwork is absolutely gorgeous. I wanted the Venus to match the Laguna so that when they are side by side for pictures that we take, they match well, if that makes any sense. So thank you so much for being the inspiration for these beautiful diamond-shaped sparkles in her eyes. I think those are super gorgeous. I also wanted her makeup to be super glittery, so I am using my Dragonfly glaze and adding some pink color shifting glitter into her eyeshadow. Cool thing about G3 Venus is she has these sculpted on vines and leaves all over her legs, so to bring out that detail I'm going in with a dark green acrylic paint and just following the guidelines of the mold and painting over that. And I'm also painting on this tattoo onto her upper left arm. I'm just freehanding this tattoo with a reference from what Emma had created for her design. This tattoo is basically just some more vines. I added in a monstera leaf and a tiny flower, a couple of flowers, and then added some glitter paint on top of those. I actually really love painting tiny tattoos on dolls. It is very tedious work though, because you gotta be super focused. For Venus's nails, I'm using the same exact method that I used for our custom Laguna. When I glued these nails on, they were significantly longer than I wanted them to be, so I did end up cutting them down. From there, I just painted the nails and then handed them over to Emma as she requested to do all the decorating with the gems and rhinestones. So now let's hand the phone over to Emma to tell you how she made Venus's outfit.
For Venus's design, I aim to infuse elements of Yamanba or Manba style Gyaru. In the early 2000s, Gyaru fashion swept Japan, defined by its audacious makeup, flashy accessories, and daring attire. It served as a rebellion against Japan's conventional beauty norms of the time. Yamanba Gyaru emerged as an amplified iteration of the Gongoro style, featuring tan skin, bleached or dyed hair, and striking eye makeup, often deemed unconventional and even unattractive, possibly deriving its name from the Japanese folklore figure Yamauba. Venus's design draws inspiration from the Manba style of Gyaru. Lei accessories are essential in this aesthetic, so I made sure I had to have one in this look. To pay homage to her G3, I wanted to give her jean shorts. I also decided to give her a cover-up to go over her shorts. For her G1, she has a tote bag, so I had to make sure that I gave her something that reminisced her G1 doll. So the tote bag says "Protect the Oceans" in kanji, which is a nod to Venus's environmental consciousness, and I believe that this resonates pretty well with her character. When I design a character, I usually just draw out what I want for Morgan, and Morgan makes it look better. I am not a digital artist, that's for sure. So kudos to Morgan for always getting my ideas perfect. And if she doesn't, I give her some pointers, and we go back and forth for hours. But it turns out perfect, and the design is finally done. Starting with this fresh vase G3 Venus. Side note, this Venus is so cute and I feel so bad for taking her apart, but it had to be done. So here I am just removing all her clothes, but I'm going to get rid of all the accessories for now. I will be coming back to them later. I will be taking her shorts and I will be putting them to the side because I'm going to make a pattern out of the shorts. To make a pattern out of the shorts, you're going to want to go and seam rip all of the seams out of the shorts. Draw it out, sketch your pattern, and you're going to want to edit it a little bit if you want what I did. The pattern for the short shorts that I'm putting on Venus will be on our Patreon. Also on the Patreon will be the pattern for the top. I'm going to make the decals on the top and the tote bag. So I made this pattern without pockets because I was going to sew on like a faux pockets, and you don't have to do that, it's an extra step, but I'm going to add a clasp on the back so that it holds it on, and I'm going to bejewel the shorts for just because I felt like it. Now moving on to Venus's top. So for Venus's top, I wanted her to have leaves or vines to reminisce her as a character, so I decided on leaves. I printed them out in pink and purple vinyl along with the kanji, and I'm going to iron them onto the top. add some Velcro, and then I glue the straps onto the back, and the top is done. Very easy top to make. Now going into the hair, I wanted flowers in her hair, so I bought these little flowers that had holes in them, I put rings in them, and then I just stick them in her hair, put hair through them, and clasp them down, and this is how it turned out, and oh, it is so cute! For the tote bag, I just made some little straps, cut out the shape, and sewed it together. It looked a little boring to me, so I wanted to add something, so I made this little keychain, and it is so cute. And now for the nail accessories, I really wanted to do the nails because I wanted to test myself, and I actually really like how they turned out. So I'm going to go in with some glue, and I'm going to add some glitter onto the nails. With that done, I'm just going to add rhinestones and pearls all over the nails. And this is how they turned out, and they turned out super cute. I know I'm saying everything is cute, but it is. Onto printing, we got an excellent surprise in our email when Elegoo wanted to send us the Saturn 4 Ultra 3D resin printer. I was so excited to get my hands on this because it has auto leveling, it also features an AI camera, a tilted bed, and you can send files remotely. What else could you ask for in a printer? To be honest, I am in love with the auto leveling. It is perfect for me. This printer is definitely beginner friendly, so if you're looking to get into 3D printing for your dolls or literally anything else, go into our description. There will be a link to the printer. It is very beginner friendly. Now adding in some white ABS-like resin, we are going to start our print. So for this print, we decided to include some doll stuff and then some personal use stuff like D&D minifigs and some other things. Now onto washing and curing. Then I take the 3D printed shoes, apply some ribbons so they hold, and I do the rest off camera.
As for Venus's stand, we are doing the same exact design that we did for our Gyaru Laguna custom, so the process is pretty much identical. We're using our XTool F1 machine, courtesy of XTool. Thank you so much for sending us this machine for free. If you want to purchase one of these machines for yourself to make your own doll stands, we do have an affiliate link in the description. Once the base shape for the stand is cut out, Emma uses her Cricut machine to do a vinyl cut for all the shapes and different colors necessary. And with that, our custom Venus is done.
Venus and Laguna both turned out so cute and amazing. I'm so proud of the work that we did.
Yes, and I believe, Emma, you should be especially proud because you did design this Venus and she turned out absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Now that we've made these two, I kind of want to continue a line like this, but you guys should let us know if we should.
Yeah, obviously we don't want to like overdo the Gyaru theme and like make it our whole like everything that we post, but it's like it just eats every time.
Yeah, I know. But I think what would be cute is like for a while on the back burner, I've been wanting to do like a Harajuku series. and like these two could be like a part of it, but include different types of fashion from in Harajuku.
I think that would be super, super cute. I think people would love that, but let us know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, we want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of our patrons. Thank you so much to Ohio from Ohio, Cat Lady, Jazur, Totally Spooky, Keela Hart, Willin Melito, Emmy Lisis, Christian, Sylvic Studios, Emma, Vinyl Bunny, Kate, Amanita Truffle, Daisy, Maisie Woodgate, Anson, Miss Chips, Darn, and Marissa.
And one more time, thank you so much to Elegoo for the 3D printer and XTool for the laser cutter.
Yes, thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing, commenting, anything to help out this video is greatly appreciated. And as always, we hope to see you in the next video.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.